Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Federico and in this video I want to give you the best tips to land your first job in tech. So in order to do this, you need to put yourself first in the shoes of the companies, understanding what are their needs. So imagine that you need to hire somebody. You need somebody competent, that you can trust, that is reliable. In the best scenario, you want somebody that has a lot of experience in the field, that you know that they already worked in many companies and therefore you can hire them by safely assume that they are good at their job. But if that is not an option because it's difficult to attract them and even the budget that you have is too low for hire some senior positions, the other way you can go about it is to go through the university route. In that case, you will use universities as a validator of the competence of the new candidate. For instance, you know that if somebody passed a computer science engineering degree, even if they're not good developers, right now, you know that they are able to think in a logical way and they are able to solve very complex problems. And lastly, another way you can go about it is to see recommendations from other employees working already in the company. So if you know that there are good employees working for you, that they have friends that work in the field, even if they don't have maybe the computer science degree, or many reference from other companies, but these people can guarantee that they know what they're doing, maybe they have their own portfolio and they can show up for the work, so it's always worth giving it a try. In this way you can already filter from many candidates that may be applied for the position by already having somebody that can guarantee on these people. And that's why many IT companies actually have referral programs that give you money if the person that you recommend get hired inside the company. So now let's get back to the perspective of you as a person that wants to land a job in that company. You can see that either you can go with the university route. That means that if you get a computer science degree, you know that even if you don't have any experience, you can actually land a first job as an intern or even a super junior position because they're willing to give you a try. Of course, the salaries will not be great, but that is not the focus of your first job. That is actually gaining the experience, and even if you don't have a good salary now, you can leverage your experience in this job to land a better one later. But now let's explore the other options. In the case you don't have a degree, you can still apply for some jobs. The first way will be to find a sponsor inside the company. That is this person that can vouch for you so that the company will be more willing to give you a chance. This of course will not guarantee that you will have the job, but this will be more likely that the company will be willing to give you an interview. And then of course, as any other interview in all of these options, you need to be prepared and have something to show up for. In the last scenario, that is the case in which you don't have a degree and nobody that can vouch for you, you still have a chance to get the job, but of course it will be more difficult. And in that case, what really matters is having a good portfolio that will shine among other candidates so that the company can see that you really have the skills for the job. Now, all of this of course matters if it is your first job. Once you already have worked for a few companies and you have some experience, it will be much easier to at least pass the first interviews and companies will be more willing to give you a chance. And in this case you can see that the more experience you get, the less important is having or not having a degree. So what you can see is that experience actually on the long term is much more valuable than having a degree. In my experience, I had colleagues that were really skilled developers, and even if they didn't have a master degree or a degree at all, they knew what they were doing and the companies can see that, and therefore they didn't have any problem at all landing a new job in other IT companies. Now, with all of this being said, what is remaining is prepare for the interview. In my experience, usually there are at least 3 steps that are an interview with HR that is more general, understanding who you are and what are your expectations, and also it's a way for them to say what they're doing and what they're expecting from you. The second interview is usually a technical one. There could be even more than one, and sometimes they ask you even to create some projects, they give you some requirements, you need to develop something. The last interview is the one where you can discuss about the salaries, and therefore you need to prepare also for that, understanding how much usually people in the same position, in the same company, in the same area can get, to understand what is your expectation of the feasible salary that you can ask for. And if you're interested to know what are usually some technical questions that they asked, some projects that they asked me to do for some interviews, stay tuned because I will prepare some videos about that it can be useful for any of you trying to apply for a new job in tech. So thank you guys for watching and see you in the next videos.